Hello Aquarius, my name is Keith Haswell and I'm a professional astrologer with over 40 years experience in the business and 30,000 clients worldwide. It's my pleasure to welcome you, Aquarius, to this reading of your horoscope and for the cycles of September and October 2014. Now, I've been a teacher of astrology for nearly 40 years as well, and I also release videos. I've released 130 odd videos in the last 15 months on all aspects of personal and spiritual growth, and some of those videos have had over 10,000 viewings and 250,000 viewings in total for my videos. So I'm very happy with the way that the message is getting out there, and the truth is, Aquarius, that nothing can hold back truth, and it's coming into the mind of man. Now, you're Aquarius, and I'm going to tell you a few things about yourself, but first of all, you are to be congratulated, not for being an Aquarius, but for being interested in astrology. That puts you at the forefront of Western civilization and culture, on the crest of the wave of evolution, because astrology, meditation and reincarnation represents the new dispensation that's coming down into the mind of man. And the age of Aquarius began in the year 2000, and that's named after you, Aquarius. What I'm going to do for you here, Aquarius, is to tell you first of all a few things about yourself. That's always a lot of fun, and the type of conditions and circumstances that you'll experience in life on a lifetime basis. And then I'm going to tell you about the cycles of the minor bodies, the Sun, Mercury, Venus and Mars, as they move through the houses of your horoscope in transit. They'll bring about certain conditions and events in your life, and I'll tell you what sort of conditions and events that you'll experience in that 2-month period. And then I'm going to look at the slower moving bodies, Jupiter and Saturn, and tell you what sort of impact that they're having in the past 12 months and the future 12 months. And then I'll wrap it up. So sit back and relax now, Aquarius. Enjoy the journey here with me. You are a very futuristic type of person, Aquarius. You feel very different from everybody else, though. You've probably asked yourself many times, why am I so different from everybody else? Why don't my ideas fit in with the mainstream of thinking? You've got a highly developed intuition. You're very communicative. You're ruled by Uranus, so you're accustomed to being shoved around from pillar to post in your life with quite a few crises, sudden changes in direction, sudden changes of circumstances and conditions, sudden potential for crises there in your life. And you are attracted towards the unusual in terms of conditions and events and interests and so forth. You're a natural when it comes to computers and all the gadgetry involved with computers these days. Now, you do have a lot of worries about money. This is a big problem for you, Aquarius, is that you're not very good with handling money, and you have a lot of secret worries, a lot of insecurities to do with finances. Your sense of security in life is always being attacked, and not the least of which is by your own addictive patterns of behaviour, so that you're careless with money, you don't budget wisely, and you can have a leaning toward drugs and alcohol, and you can perhaps allow your finances and your sense of security to be a bit chaotic at times. You drive too fast. You got a scar on the hand or the arm from a cut, burn or a scald. You're very dominant and assertive in communication. You have a relative or a neighbour who wears a uniform in their job. Now, there's potential for an accident on the road because of your driving habit patterns. You like to get from A to B pretty rapidly. And you can have your fair share of lung and bronchial trouble too, fevers and things like that. Aquarius. You love the home. The family is a very important part of your life. That represents a lot of your sense of security. You don't like many changes of residence. You like stability as far as the home is concerned. And you enjoy artistic things around the place, and you love plants around the home. So you love plants and shrubs and the beauties of nature around the home, works of art and things like that. You have parents who are a little bit possessive in their nature, and you've copied those traits, and you're a bit possessive too of those in your family unit. Now, there's many fluctuating interests in life for you as far as the social side of life is concerned, Aquarius. You can't make up your mind which sport to become interested in or what recreational activities appeal to you, so you try a variety of different things, and you're all the time changing your ideas and your opinions on which is the best restaurant to go to, what's the best type of food, what's the best type of movie, and what's the best type of recreational activity, and so forth. And so there's a lot of duality in your nature as far as your social life is concerned, also in relationships. You'll have a whole bundle of relationships in your life, to the point where you might have 2 relationships going at the one time. Now there's potential for you to give birth to or bring children into the world, twins, possibilities. There's a lot of social involvements with relatives and neighbours. They are a mainstay in your life as far as your social life is concerned. You're very communicative when you're out in restaurants and places of amusement, and you do like to be the centre of attention. You use your hands quite a lot in conversation and communication once you get a few drinks on board. You work from home at some time in your life quite feasibly, or you could deal with real estate or family social welfare matters and things like that. Social welfare matters would naturally be appealing to you as a form of work. You could run some sort of a business from home at some time in your life. You could deal with food and clothing in that type of work. You seem to marry somebody who's rather proud in their nature, a very good looking person. You're attracted towards attractive people, and you do enjoy social activities revolving around the general public too, Aquarius. You like going out to restaurants and places of amusement, and you like to be out at community walks and shopping malls and things like that as well. And you can quite often find yourself, when you're out in social functions, being the centre of attention. Quite feasibly have a scar on the hand or the arm from a cut, burn or a scald. Could be poor circulation in the feet. That's a possibility for you. Now I'm going to look at the cycles that you're living through, Aquarius, in this 2-month period from the 1st of September through to the end of October. And what I'm going to do is lay it out on a timeline for you, so that I'll go on a week-by-week basis and tell you where the planets are at the beginning of the month, where the Sun, Mercury, Venus and Mars is on the 1st of September, and any changes that they make into a different house of your horoscope, bringing different conditions in your life, Aquarius. I'll tell you when that happens and portray the type of events that will ensue from there. So that it's all on a timeline for you over an 8 weeks period. So you enjoy the journey here. Now on the 1st of September, Aquarius, you've got the Sun and Mercury both in the 8th house of your horoscope. When the Sun is in the 8th house of your horoscope, you've got a tremendous urge for change, a tremendous amount of introspection and reflection, and Mercury is there as well, exacerbating this tendency to want to delve into the mysteries of life, life after death and stuff like that. And that's probably one of the things that's brought you to my website and brought you to this reading and this video. And with Mercury in the 8th house of your horoscope, there's a focus upon joint finances that you share with your partner. There can be a lot of interest in the mysteries of life after death and stuff like that. Venus is in the 7th house of your horoscope starting off the month, Aquarius, and with Venus in the 7th house of your horoscope, there's a great deal of love for going out to restaurants, places of amusement where the general public are. So shopping malls and things like that appeal to you, and there's a sense that your spouse, if you have one, is a lot more loving in their nature, outgoing in their affections and so forth, and you towards them as well. Mars is in the 10th house of your horoscope, Aquarius, to start the month off. When Mars is in the 10th house of your horoscope, there's potential for conflicts with government departments, tensions and conflicts connected with business or career, arguments and conflicts with co-workers, tensions and conflicts focusing through parents or accidents involving parents. Injuries to the knees are possible with Mars in the 10th house of your horoscope. Now on the 3rd of September we have the first change where Mercury moves from the 8th house of your horoscope into the 9th house of your horoscope, Aquarius. And when Mercury is in the 9th house of your horoscope, you have a strong urge to expand your understanding. Now you can bring this about in many ways, through watching documentaries and so forth on YouTube or on television. You can expand your understanding by the study of philosophy and research, investigation of adult education and things like that. All appeal to you as long as it expands your understanding in some way. On the 6th of September, Venus moves into the 8th house of your horoscope. Now that expands your sex drive. It gives you a benefit financially in terms of joint finances that you share with any spouse or partner. It gives you a love of the mysteries of life, and you can find yourself intrigued and attracted towards devious relationships or secret relationships and that sort of thing. And especially females will expand your sex drive. On the 14th of September, Aquarius, Mars moves into the 11th house of your horoscope. Now when Mars is in the 11th house of your horoscope, Aquarius, there's stresses and tensions with friends. Group social functions can end up being in an argument. There can be injuries or accidents involving friends or other people's children. And there's arguments and so forth with friends. So try and relax the atmosphere a little bit more, because your friends can have a tendency to be a bit more dominant and assertive, trying to control and manipulate you during that time. On the 24th of September, the Sun moves into the 9th house of your horoscope, Aquarius. When the Sun is in the 9th house of your horoscope, there's a tremendous urge for travel or an expansion of your consciousness in some way. Philosophy and higher education and adult education comes to the fore. There's a lot more social involvements with in-laws, and generally a desire to expand yourself, and that can express itself through travel. On the 28th of September, Aquarius, Mercury moves into the 10th house of your horoscope, seeing a lot more communication with parents, a lot more communication with government departments, and a lot more communication involving business and with co-workers in the career side of things. So it's a good time for interviews and applying for a raise and things like that, because you'll be wanting to achieve high things and you'll be full of self-esteem. On the 30th of September, Venus is in the 9th house of your horoscope, Aquarius, and when Venus is in the 9th house of your horoscope, there's a lot more social involvements with foreigners, people from overseas, and there's a lot more social involvements with in-laws. There's a great deal of love for travel, and it's a good time for travel, and it's a favourable time socially with those who went through their education with you and so forth. so schoolmates and stuff like that, and those who went through higher education with you in any way. Now, Mercury goes retrograde on the 5th of October, and I'll explain this in a moment. It goes retrograde on the 5th of October, Aquarius, and it remains retrograde for 3 weeks until the 26th of October. Now, planets don't actually go backwards, Aquarius, but they do have an apparent backward motion when the Earth moves faster around the Sun than another planet. It gives the appearance that the planet is going backwards in the zodiac because the Earth is moving faster. And that's what's called retrograde. And when Mercury is retrograde for this 3 weeks, you'll have a tendency to dwell in the past. Contracts and agreements are not to be entered into when Mercury is in the retrograde motion. Day-to-day plans will go astray. You'll have people come late to pick you up, and you'll get there late for an appointment and things like that when Mercury is retrograde. So all sorts of transits and getting from A to B and matters relating to motor vehicles, don't enter contracts or agreements. All of those sort of areas are going to cause a bit of consternation and difficulty for you in that 3-week period. But then after that 3 weeks, everything goes smoothly in those areas again, Aquarius. Now, when Mercury is retrograde, it also impacts upon 2 other houses of your horoscope, Aquarius, and they are the social side of life, matters relating to children, and matters relating to romance and love. So appointments that can't be kept, and for social involvements and things to do with the children will cause chaos, and they won't be able to meet their homework deadline on time, and all sorts of things like that. And also matters relating to joint finances, so there'll be bills that won't be paid because your spouse forgot about it, or something like that. So there's all sorts of problems there with joint finances in that particular period as well during that 3 weeks, okay? Now, on the 24th of October, Aquarius, the Sun moves into the 10th house of your horoscope, and Venus is also in the 10th house of your horoscope. Now, this will be a classic time of high achievements for you. It's a good time to seek a raise from the boss. It's going to be a good time for dealings with government departments. It favours social involvements and connections with parents. And it's a very good time for you to make a change or seek an advancement in the career if you want to make a change. Social involvements connected with business and those that you cohabitate with in the career would be quite feasible. Now, the last one we come to, Aquarius, is on the 27th of October. Mars moves into the 12th house of your horoscope. Now, when Mars moves into the 12th house of your horoscope, you can be your own worst enemy, Aquarius. You can say and do things which are not in your own best interests. It's a time of self-punishment, self-denial, self-abnegation, and problems with your self-esteem. You feel as if you're not good enough and things like that. You can be stuck in habit patterns of behaviour that you felt as if you've outgrown, and addictive patterns of behaviour that you felt as if you had done away with. So you can be your own worst enemy during that time, so be very careful. It's not a good time for commencing and starting new projects when Mars is in the 12th house of your horoscope. And watch out for injuries to the feet. But you'll be attracted towards drugs and alcohol and things that are going to throw you into chaos. Now I'm going to look at the movements of Jupiter and Saturn for you, Aquarius, and tell you what sort of conditions and events that they'll bring about. Now, Jupiter is in your 7th house of your horoscope for this whole 2-month period, and that's going to be a very good time for you in your relationship with your spouse or partner, if you have one. Now, it's a very good time to strengthen relationships. It brings benefits through dealings with the general public. Legal matters and court cases and things like that will go well with Jupiter in the 7th house of your horoscope. You and your partner could perhaps travel overseas sometime in the last month or sometime in the next 11 months, because Jupiter is there for 12 months in the 7th house of your horoscope. And your partner will be very much more loving during this time as well. So it's a strengthening of relationships and strengthening of bonds. But something more important than that, Aquarius, is that Jupiter moves 10 degrees through the zodiac in that 7th house of yours during the period of that 2 months. So from the 1st of September to the end of October, Jupiter moves 10 degrees, from 10 degrees Leo to 20 degrees Leo. Now, Aquarius, if you have any planets in those segments of your horoscope, that 10-degree segment of your horoscope, that means that Jupiter is going to form a conjunction with those planets in this 2-month period, and you want to know about that. This is the beauty, Aquarius, of having a horoscope done, because it gives you a roadmap in life where you can take advantage of beneficial opportunities as they present themselves, and you can also be forewarned about crises that can occur if you're not forewarned. So this is what the benefit is of having your horoscope done by me. So submit your birth details to my website, www.mysteryofsirius.com. And what I'm going to do for you, Aquarius, is I'll send you your horoscope chart and I'll tell you whether you've got any planets in that particular area of your horoscope. And if there's any conjunctions there, what sort of events and conditions that will prevail from that conjunction, and what sort of opportunities are there for you to take advantage of. That's very beneficial to you, that you should be able to take full advantage of that by being forewarned. And Saturn is a slower moving body. It takes 2.5 years, Aquarius, to transit through a particular house of your horoscope. And for the last 12 months, so you've already experienced what I'm going to portray here for you now, Saturn has been sitting in the 10th house of your horoscope for the last 12 months. So you've already experienced illness of a parent, or you've experienced frustrations in your career, problems in dealings with government departments, and a lot of frustrations and difficulties connected with business if you're in business. So you've already experienced that over the last 12 months, and that will continue, that sort of trend, over this 2-month period and into the next 15 months or so as well. So it's not a good time for expansion in business when Saturn is in the 10th house. It's not a good time for changing job or career in that 2.5 year period. But more importantly, Saturn moves through 5 degrees from 18 degrees Scorpio to 23 degrees Scorpio. Now, if you've got any planets in that particular location, Aquarius, then it means that Saturn is forming a conjunction with those planets at that particular time. And you need to know about that, because that's a time of crisis. When Saturn forms a conjunction with a planet in your horoscope, it's a time of crisis, and you can avoid that crisis and avert that crisis by being forewarned. So decisions that you would normally make when those conjunctions happen can turn out disastrously. So you can avert a lot of pain for yourself, not just in that 2-week period of the conjunction, but in that longer term events that can ensue from bad judgment and bad decisions that you could normally have made if you weren't forewarned about that. So that's the idea of having a roadmap in your life, Aquarius. So that completes my work for you, Aquarius, as far as your cycles are concerned, but I want to help you to develop spiritual perception. What spiritual perception, you ask yourself? By spiritual perception, I mean to be able to perceive life from a spiritual perspective, to be able to perceive all the events and conditions of your life, in other words, from a spiritual point of view. Now, I posit the suggestion that how can you possibly experience life from any other perspective or any other point of view, Aquarius? We are all living in a giant spiritual classroom. The reason why that's not directly understood by humanity is because of the power of science. Now, science, don't get me wrong, I'm not attacking science. Science has a job to do, and they do a wonderful job with all of the inventions and everything, and they're not meant to believe in God, and they're not meant to believe in the afterlife and all of this sort of thing, because they have the task of focusing upon the material side of life, and that's their task. But they have such a respect in the community, and when they make the statements that astrology is a load of hogwash and that the planets can have no impact whatsoever upon your personality or upon the conditions and events in your life, that everything happens by random chance, then it does have impact upon people. And this is what I want to help you to understand. You see, for science to say that everything happens according to random chance, and that all of the wonder and the beauty of your body and the wonder and the beauty of everything around us is all a result of an explosion out there in space and the fortuitous falling together of blobs of matter called planets in the right location from the sun, and that through some evolutionary process an amoeba crawled out of the ocean and became a mineral, and then a plant, and then an animal, and then into the human kingdom, and evolved over a period of time into more and more intelligent human beings through the process of evolution. For them to say that everything happened according to the law of evolution and some explosion out there in space is the same as, Aquarius, that a Boeing 747 fell into place as a result of an explosion in an engineering factory. That Boeing 747, with all of its intricacy and all of its complexity electronically, all just fell into place as a result of an explosion in an engineering factory, and that, my friend, is too much of a stretch of the imagination. So what I'm saying to you is that you are a soul, and you have lived hundreds of lives in the last 90,000 years alone. And it's time now for you to come to an understanding of the powers that God and Goddess have put inside of yourself. Because you, Aquarius, have all of the properties, all of the qualities, and all of the powers of God and Goddess inside of yourself now. Your task, Aquarius, is to recognize that fact and unfold those powers. And that, my friend, takes eternity. We're all always forever becoming more of God and Goddess, and always becoming more of that piece of God and Goddess that's inside of ourselves called our higher self. When I say that we've got that piece of God and Goddess inside of ourselves, it's really our body is inside this piece of God and Goddess. So this is what I want to do for you, is to help you to understand more about the nature of reality and your place in that reality, so that you can understand that you are the one that's creating all of the events and conditions of your life, because God and Goddess have given you all of the powers of creation that they have. And those powers of creation means that all of your raw materials, and everyone has the same raw materials, Aquarius, and they are our attitudes, our beliefs, our thoughts, our feelings, and they prompt decisions and choices depending on the quality of those attitudes and beliefs and thoughts and feelings. And those decisions and choices and those raw materials are moulded and shaped into the events and conditions of your life through three tools, Aquarius. No one has any different tools. And those three tools are our desire, our imagination, and our expectancy. What do we desire is going to happen? What do we imagine is going to happen? What do we expect is going to happen? Because that is what will happen. Now you think to yourself, well, I don't want all this chaos that's around me, and I don't want all this pain in relationships and all of this struggle and hardship financially and all of these health problems and things like that. I don't want any of those sort of things. So how does that ring true? Well, you've created these events. It's not punishment by God and Goddess. God and Goddess will never punish any of us. We all create our own reality. We all create all the events and conditions of our life. So any conditions and events in your life, Aquarius, that you're not happy with, then you have yourself to look at, and you've got those raw materials to look at. What are your attitudes? What are your beliefs? Do you believe that life is a financial struggle for me? Do you believe that you are unlovable and that relationships never work out for me? Do you believe that you can never hold down a good job? Do you believe that you are an unhealthy person? See, all these attitudes and beliefs are the things that are there in the subconscious mind, perhaps, but they are the things that are creating all of the events and conditions of your life. So I want to help you to understand all of that way that it all works. So what I'm prepared to do for you is you go to my website, submit your birth details through the Your Horoscope page of my website. I'll then send you your horoscope chart, tell you whether you've got any of these conjunctions happening in this 2-month period. I'll also provide you with the link to 130 of my videos on all aspects of personal and spiritual growth. On top of that, Aquarius, I'll provide you with the links to download 12 CDs out of my first book, What Really Matters, a book about astrology, meditation and reincarnation. And in that book, we're using my voice with beautiful backing music. I take you in and out of meditation time and time again, Aquarius, and help you to understand more about the nature of reality and your place in that reality. Once you've done those 12 CDs, you can go on into my intensives 2 and 3, another 24 CDs, again using my voice, on the deeper aspects of things out of my second book, Coming Home, An Eternal Journey. We never get home, Aquarius. We're always coming home. It's an eternal journey of ever becoming more of who we really are. Now, I also have on offer a horoscope number 2. Now, horoscope number 2 goes into things a little bit more deeply than just your sun sign or your rising sign. Now, you are an Aquarius because you have the sun in Aquarius, or else you have the Aquarius on the ascendant, the right point on the eastern horizon at the time of your first breath. But you are also an emotional being, and that is determined by the location of the moon in your horoscope. You have a mind, and that's determined by the location of Mercury in your horoscope. Venus rules your love nature, Mars rules your energy levels, Jupiter rules your higher mind, Saturn rules your practicality and organisational ability, Uranus rules your intuition, Neptune rules your spirituality, and Pluto rules your capacity to transform yourself. Now, where are all those planets at the time of your first breath? That's very important to you, because that tells you how well you've done in past lifetimes. You see, you've lived hundreds of lifetimes just in the last 90,000 years, Aquarius, to get where you are today. You didn't just pop in as a fully fledged, intelligent human being. And that horoscope number 2 is a beautiful 20-page printout, and I send that to you for only $10. For only $10, you can get horoscope number 2, a beautiful 20-page printout telling you where all of your planets are, which signs that they sit in, which houses that they sit in, what aspects and relationships that they form with each other, and therefore what qualities, principles and values that you're in the process of developing within yourself in this lifetime. Don't you want to know that, Aquarius? Don't you want to know how well you've been doing in past lives and what qualities, principles and values that you've set for yourself in this lifetime to develop? Everything works according to law. And you are a giant spiritually. You're on the crest of the wave of evolution. It's time for you to understand that you have a tremendous amount of power inside of yourself, Aquarius, and to unfold those powers. And so that's what the purpose of horoscope number 2 is. And intensives 2 and 3 go into things in a lot more detail for you out of my second book, Coming Home: An Eternal Journey, on quantum physics and the holographic nature of reality and cosmic science and stuff like that. So it's nice to have this opportunity to be able to talk with you. I look forward to working further with you. The object of the exercise, Aquarius, is consciousness expansion. All of us are in life for the purposes of consciousness expansion. And the quicker that you can expand your consciousness, the quicker you can move beyond the human level altogether. We're all here in this dimension, Aquarius, because we're all the laggards. We're all the slowpokes. We refuse to give up our addictive patterns of behaviour and our limitations. We can evolve beyond the human level altogether into higher states of consciousness which are more wondrous, more complex and more intelligent and more wonderful. So you can learn a bit more about those sort of things too from my intensives. So it's nice to have this opportunity to talk with you, Aquarius, and I look forward to working further with you should you decide to have your horoscope done by me. Thank you.